Welcome to this AE Connects Roundtable presented by Hercules Tires. We have 6 champions from spring sports, reigning champs, if you will, joining us right now. We'll let them introduce themselves, starting with Kennedy. Hi, Kennedy.
Hi, my name is Kennedy Lamb, and I play softball here at UMBC, and I'm a senior.
Hi, my name is Asia. I'm a track and field athlete. I go to Ualbany, and I'm a junior.
Hi, my name is Danny. I'm a senior on the men's lacrosse team at UMBC.
Hi, my name's Jared. I'm a senior on the Stony Brook baseball team.
Hi, I'm Allie, and I'm a senior on the Stony Brook women's lacrosse team.
Hi, my name's Joey Somerville. I'm on the track and field team, and I'm a senior.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you taking the time. I know some of you have some finals, so I do appreciate it. Good luck to those of you who still have some left. But let's talk about sports, not academics right now. All of you won America East Championships last year, and I just wanted to get your thoughts on how it went since we obviously do not have championships this year and wanted to kind of reflect on last year. So let's start with the Ualbany Track and Field student athletes. Joey, what was just last year like for you winning that championship in the outdoor season?
Winning it was kind of special to me because I'm local, so Ualbany's 20 minutes down the road from where I live, and it was nice to do it in front of family and friends where they could get in their car, drive, and watch us win a championship. So it was nice, a lot of special moments. That's all I have to say.
Same as Joey said, it was just a very special moment to have my family members be so close to where we were competing at, which was at home. So they got to come and see me run. It was an absolutely amazing experience. All the alumni, the energy was through the roof. So that got me through both days, running back to back, having to do, 400 hurdles, 100 hurdles in the 4x4. Sometimes it takes a lot, but that energy was just amazing. And to run close to my PR 2 days in a row was a lot of help from them. So that was amazing.
And unique for your team, Asia, in terms of getting the Triple Crown. I know you don't run cross country, but a historic feat for Ualbany women's cross country and track and field last year. Now, the Great Danes are used to dominating track and field. That was the 11th time the men's and women's team won the outdoor championship. Some similar sentiments for Allie Kennedy, 7-time champions, reigning champions, I guess, for the Stony Brook Seawolves. Was last year any different than the others, Allie?
Last year was special to us because our season leading up to it wasn't the best that we've had in previous years. I think previous years we're used to 1 regular season loss, but last year we ended up getting 3 or 4 before the America East Championship. So winning that championship was just kind of the staple in our program to show that even though this season really hasn't gone like the past seasons, it's still the same because we're still heading to the NCAA tournament, and it was still the 7th ring that the program has earned. So every championship is still very special, but that was what made it so sweet.
We'll stick with Stony Brook. We've got 4 institutions represented, so I might pair you guys up a little bit. But Jared, over to you. Number 1 seed, regular season champs, and then you win it. I know that Lowell game was especially electric, but winning it and getting the Seawolves back on top where they have been a few times.
Yeah, it was a surreal experience. I mean, that dog pile at the end is kind of what you work for all year throughout the fall and the winter on your own, coming back in with the guys at the beginning of spring. And, it's really what you train, year round for. So it was a surreal experience. And the way we did it was pretty special, coming back in nearly all 3 games. So it was awesome.
Definitely fun to watch. All right, now it's time for the dogs, and I don't mean Retrievers dogs. You guys were both underdogs in your respective championships. Kennedy, I'll start with you. What was that whole season like? I know your team was predicted to finish low in the preseason poll, and then you go out and win the whole thing.
Yeah, I think we definitely shocked the nation, that's for sure. We actually had a hype video made this fall, and it said all the things that people said about us and, how we were supposed to be ranked last and how, our championship win was a fluke, but I never thought that. I thought we had amazing grit and tenacity, and I think most of all, which really pulled us together, was the team vibe this year and last year as well.
Any similar sentiments for you? Only 4 teams in that tournament. You were the 4th seed.
Yeah, we were definitely underdogs going into the tournament, especially being that at one point during the regular season, after a couple overtime losses and just an overall roller coaster of regular season, after senior day against UMass Lowell, we thought we were done, and we cried in the locker room and said our goodbyes to seniors, just to hours later figure out and get a text from our coaches that if a few things fell into place and we beat Hartford the next week, that we would sneak in on a tiebreaker as the 4 seed in the tournament. And I would say after that day of the UMass Lowell game, having the feeling of saying goodbye to seniors definitely fueled the fire a lot for us. We're a really close team, and that hurt everyone. So with that in the back of our minds, I would say that definitely propelled us through the tournament and just had us playing our best lacrosse at the right time, which is in May. So, and that's what our coaches say all year. Like when we lost a few games early, that was always the message to us, which was that anything can happen. And as long as we're playing our best in May, then good things will happen. And it all came true.
All right, now the team sports went on to play in the NCAA. So Great Danes, I'm sorry, I got to leave you out for a second here, but who's got a favorite memory from playing at NCAAs?
I do. First round last year against JMU went into overtime, and it was a crazy feeling because, like I said before, last season we never came back from a deficit. Like when we were down, and then we would end up losing. But we grew from that, and we kind of took those losses and applied them to the game against JMU. And at halftime, I'm pretty sure it was 3-3, and that's pretty low scoring for a lacrosse game, especially women's lacrosse. So going into the second half, it was back and forth, and then it ended up being tied at regulation. We went into overtime, and I just remember sitting there, I'm like, okay, like this is what those losses are leading up to. Like this is our time, and we won the first draw. Ended up scoring the first goal and winning in overtime, and it was just a crazy feeling. And looking over and running over to my teammates and being like, wow, like this is what this season led up to, and it was just an unreal feeling.
Who else has got a memory? I mean, there's so much that goes into it, right? You got to travel, you're staying in hotels and playing on that big stage. Kennedy.
Yeah, speaking of playing on a big stage, we played the number 1 seed, Oklahoma. We were the 64 seed. So, again, a lot of underdog stories here for us. But I will say it was so amazing to travel to Norman, Oklahoma, and play under the lights against arguably the best softball team in the nation. And I think we held our own, all things considered. I mean, there was sure a lot of heartbreak at the end to think that our season would end like that. But in hindsight, we got the chance of a lifetime, really. I mean, we got our one shining moment that was really outstanding. And what are the odds that we would be picked to play the number 1 seed? You know, it's just, it was shocking, and it was a really amazing experience.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty similar situation for us where we actually were in the play-in game, and then we won that and played Penn State, the number 1 seed, later that week. So we played, I think, with the Hartford game, the America East tournament, and then the play-in and the Penn State game. It was like 5 games in 2 weeks, which is definitely something we're not used to. I'd say our normal schedule is about 1 game a week. So it was a lot of fun just to be with, like, we were with our team constantly. We were going through schoolwork together, traveling together, hotels together, even more than we normally would. And it was just a lot of fun to be with everyone. And like going back to what I said earlier, we thought we lost our seniors. So like it almost made having the extra time like even more meaningful. And that was just the best part of it all, was just more time together.
Jared, how about you?
I got a couple. Just going down to Louisiana playing LSU. I remember warming up in that first game under the lights. 13,000 people, I think, were there. And I just remember looking around and just being in awe of everything, but still trying to focus on the game that was going on, but just trying to live in the moment. And then before that game even started, it was very hot. It was coming up on summertime down in Louisiana. So the air was very thin. And Mike Wilson, I remember he's with the Milwaukee Brewers now. He hit one in batting practice out of the stadium. So that was pretty cool to watch. I've never seen a ball go out of the stadium like that. And it doesn't fly in windy Stony Brook like it does down there. So that was pretty cool.
And probably a little bigger stadium to get out of too.
Absolutely.
All right, so the track student athletes, I'll give you guys the floor now as we look ahead, or I guess still back in the rear view, but look at this year. Now, you two were fortunate enough to complete an indoor season, win it, of course, and then your outdoor season actually never started. What was that whole fiasco like? Asia, I'll start with you.
Honestly, after finishing indoor, I feel like I was in the best shape that I can possibly be in, and to PR almost like every meet for the 60 hurdles and be able to drop my time as much as I did in the 400, I was so ready to go outdoor and run at least 56 in the 400 hurdles. And then, things happen, and unfortunately we didn't even get to start our outdoor season. So, there was a lot to look forward to, and I definitely believe that I would have been a candidate in the NCAA championship. So, bittersweet kind of thing. I know the type of shape that I'm in, but I'm honestly looking at the positives in this and just keeping myself healthy and strong and stuff like that, so that next year and next season I can come back and hit harder than I did this year.
Joey, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I have to admit, because the 800, it's something that's really tough to kind of wrap your head around. It's a very difficult race. Do you start out too fast? Do you start out too slow? Yeah, it was tough because back to what Asia said, you're in the best shape of your life. I actually walked off the track at BU in Boston and had the fastest 800 that I've ever ran without knowing that it was my last race that I'd ever run in. So it was tough. But looking back at it, you do it with so many people, some of your teammates that, become so critical in your entire life. And, it was, but as Asia said, you have other things in life to look forward to. So it, it was fun while it lasted.
All right, for you other four, you never made it to conference play in this season in the spring. Does it feel a little more heightened in that sense that you really got this season cut short and you didn't even get to the most important part of the schedule?
Yeah, for us, we had this 2-week break in the season where we didn't play any games. So we played only 5 games when other teams were playing 7 and 8. So it really felt shortened, and it ended kind of on a good note, but it was also it was robbed from us because we ended on a positive note after beating Princeton, and we started off the season great by beating Syracuse, opening up in the Dome, and we just felt like it was just taken from us way too soon because we've only had those 5 games in and not even getting the chance to play conference play or anything like that, and not even getting into even a half of our schedule. It was really upsetting.
Yeah, I'll agree with her. The season got canceled on March 12th, and we were supposed to fly to Vermont on the 13th to play Vermont, which is a rematch of the America East Championship game from last year, and was definitely a game that us and Vermont probably had circled for a long time. And we were playing much better lacrosse at the beginning of this season than we were last year. So we were definitely excited and playing good. So it definitely hurts and is disappointing, but we're doing what's good for the world right now. So I guess you can try to find some good in that, and that's what we're all trying to do right now, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. I started to get suspicious that, something bad was going to happen when our flight to Maine got canceled. We weren't allowed to fly, so we were going to actually bus up to Maine, which would have been really interesting from Maryland. That would have been a long bus trip. But, yeah, we play our best softball. We play with our hair on fire, as Coach K always says, when we're playing conference games. And so it was really frustrating to not get to that part of the season where there's just a different energy and a different way that we take the field. We have a different presence. And it was upsetting to not get that. But like Danny said, and like everyone's echoing, this is for the best right now. And, this is not the end of all of our sports. It might be for us seniors, but we get to go back and support our team for all the years to come. And so this is just a temporary situation, and this will pass.
There's certainly some disappointment that came along with it. We were ready to defend our title, as all of us were, I think. Yeah, it's for the best that it happened this way, and the news traveled so fast. It was crazy how it got around, and it just one thing after another, just throughout that one horrible day. So
I'm glad you mentioned defending the title, because obviously that starts with conference play. What's the consensus among this whole group? You guys are still defending champs, right?
We are.
Undoubtedly.
You guys talking about that with your team to try to stay motivated for 2021, or what are we looking ahead for in terms of, obviously no one winning, no one taking the title away from you in the meantime?
I would just go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it was more of like thinking about it when it was like AE Champ weekend, and we kind of had circled on our schedule. But looking forward to 2021, we want to keep that streak going. So we're going for 8, and I can end, which would be now 5 years since I'm allowed to go back. But I was hoping for 4 rings in 4 years, but 4 and 5 years will do.
Yeah, I would just say that with it getting canceled while we were playing such good lacrosse, it's kind of motivating us even more and everyone on the team to get ready for the next season, because the future of the program is super bright right now, and we're all super excited to get back after it and defend our title.
Albany, you guys are used to this. You're defending, similar to Allie, you're defending titles indoors, outdoors. You're always winning that thing.
We had a lot of incoming freshmen this year, so I definitely feel like, me being captain as well, the motivation is just for me to stay calm and reassure them that, next year is going to be bigger and better than what it is this year. As freshmen, I feel like they're still getting used to everything, and, like having that indoor season, I feel like that's mostly where they start to feel stuff out and get adjusted and things like that. And then outdoor, that's usually where everything takes off. So I really think it's going to be very exciting once, we all get back together, and a lot of us Zoom call and stuff like that to keep in touch. Occasionally I'll text people here and there to see how they're doing and just, keep them motivated, get them outside, get them running and stuff like that. So, I'm excited, but, I hope this is all over soon.
Yep, agreed. Now, one thing that's unique for spring sport student athletes is you guys are usually traveling or at least playing. You're very much in season for spring break. Raise your hand if you had a real, well, not real, no, obviously no one had a real spring break. We couldn't go anywhere regardless, but who had time off for a real spring break this year? Raise your hand.
Definitely.
Everybody. Did we get to enjoy some of it at least?
My spring break was supposed to be in Puerto Rico, which you would been running. But, some sun and a nice tan would have been nice. But, with all things that's going on, everything getting canceled, it's kind of like, but I feel like it was weird to have so much time. And I'm so used to being busy all the time and sitting down doing nothing. Or it was just like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. So it was an adjustment. I don't know if I would call it a real spring break or not, but it was interesting.
Yeah, you definitely had to find things to do. I mean, I picked up reading. I was, throwing the football with my friends. It was just different, like you said, have so much time on your hands. And because as a student athlete, I feel like you're budgeting your time literally down to the minute every day. So it was definitely different, but it was also kind of nice because you got a break from workouts and whatnot. So
similar sentiments from others.
Yeah, my spring break, it happened really close to when the season was canceled, so most of it was like me trying to wrap my head around everything. And at the end of this year, I would have been graduating done, I was supposed to get a puppy as a graduation gift, but the timing worked out where I can get a puppy now, so he kind of takes up most of my time, and keeps me distracted from everything. So that was definitely a change and something positive that came from this whole thing happening, and being able to spend my time pretty much with him every single day keeps me busy.
I'm sure all of you were wishing you were still in season instead of having the spring break that you did. All right. Well, was somebody going to say something? Okay. Raise your hand if you will be back for 2021.
Undecided.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, either way, we'll see some of you next year. If not, good luck with your future endeavors. I really appreciate you guys taking the time, and obviously hope you're all well. Good luck, like I said, with those finals, as some of you are wrapping those up, and those of you graduating early, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.